Hello everyone. Hope to see you all doing well and thanks for joining us today. It actually means a lot to us. So, for those who are seeing me for the first time, I'm Akshat Nima, one of the organizers of the BUGTRONS 2.2. So, welcome again to this BUGTRONS Con series with another session powered by the Prepinsta streaming partner StreamYard, brought to you by the DEVSTRONS and the Learn With community. So, BUGTRONS is an initiative by DEVSTRONS. It is begin with a mindset of encouraging the community folks and make them aware of the edtech industry by putting emphasis on problem solving, code efficiency, code optimization, and logic-based programming. So we empower coders to get influenced by developing softwares, enhancing skills, and producing numerous opportunities by edtechs. So yep, you have not registered for the BUGTRONS yet. The links are in the description. Do check it out. So we are back with the fourth session of the BUGTRONS Con series with the same energy, but yet obviously with a different topic right now. But yes, this time it's a very cool and the awesome topic for it. It is creating developer portfolio using NextJS, Storyblok, and Postman. And you will be surprised, you will be much more excited to see our awesome speaker today, that is Abir Pal. Hey Abir, hello.
Hi Akshat, I hope you are doing great. Thank you for this amazing introduction. I'm just trying to check out my camera. It suddenly just went away, so I'm just figuring it
Yep,
out.
yep,
So,
yep.
hi everyone. I hope you are doing great. And today we'll be talking about Next.js, Storyblock, and a lot of fun. So, I hope you all are
Yep.
excited. Yeah.
Yep. It's all fine. We are all excited with your session. Yeah, talking about Abir Mo, he is an ex software engineer at Affinity Singapore, an MLH fellow, open source contributor at Mozilla and the Postman. He is also and one of the organizers of BUGTRONS 2.2. So, Abir, would you like to add more to your description now?
Yeah, I think we shouldn't waste much time on that.
Yeah. So yeah, carry on with this. I just got to know about from the today's surprise about the announcement that you are having something amazing for our folks. Will you please take a step forward and explain to our folks who are watching right now to us about today's giveaway? Just a second. Abir got disconnected right now. Sorry, folks. He is having some camera issues, so he has got some offline. But we will be soon in our session. Meanwhile, I should give you some information about BUGTRONS contest. So it is a DSA based contest. We are just organizing in a community basis to help the community folks learn more about the data algorithms and data structures. It will be a contest plus a debugging contest as well, which we'll be preparing from the organizer's side. It will be hold on to the hackering platform and the GitHub. So yeah, do check it out and register for the BUGTRONS contest. I will be meeting you soon there. So yeah, and also do like this session because Abir will be back in some few minutes. We'll be again continuing with the session with Abir because he is having a just a wonderful topic today. Okay, so Yep. Hello everyone. We are back in the session. So yeah, Abir is back with us. So you will be describing here, Abir. Welcome back to the session.
Yeah, sorry, really sorry, folks, that some issue happened with my external cam. So just restarted, and we are back, and we'll be starting with the session.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, we are just talking about the giveaway right now. You are just organized that we are you have for such an amazing folks you are having a giveaway. So we'd like to have some information on it.
yeah, sure, sure. So I'll be like directly sharing the screen so that you all can see what
Sure,
we have
sure,
in the
sure, sure.
giveaway section. And before that, I want this link. Just I'm sharing this link with you folks so that you can actually go over to the Notion and you can see what we are going to cover today. Okay. So let me just share my screen. Share screen. So here, uh, I guess now my screen is visible. Yeah.
Nope. Oh, yep. Yeah, it's visible
Yes,
right
it's
now.
visible. Cool.
Yep.
So I'll just switch on to the comment section. Yeah, cool. So we have you can post your questions side by side. I can see, and plus now coming back to our Notion page here. Just let me know if I am clearly audible or not. Like, is my voice fading or something like that? No, right?
Yep, 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 it's clearly audible.
Okay, fine, great. So today's, as you know, that problem with building developer portfolios is like you're not able to maintain it, and sometimes you add few things, plus it becomes a time-consuming process and a kind of daunting process. So here we are going to solve such a problem today by integrating Storyblok and Next.js. Why Next.js? Because probably it has the server side, front end tooling, all combined fashion. So that's why we are using Next.js. And Storyblok is the headless CMS, which is built for both business users and the developer team. And that's why, that's what the reason for using those two technologies out there, and we'll be building our amazing, highly maintainable portfolio. Amazing in the sense I'm saying it in the terms of backend technologies. Front end you have to work on it, probably add some, what you say, the animations, use some framer motions and all those. But today we'll be seeing how the back end of the whole portfolio is working, and we'll be having a decent, very decent kind of front end structure. Okay, not so much animations out there, but basic functionalities on the front end. So before getting started, we have a giveaway alert that I'll be giving you the egghead.io 12 months pro plan. For that, first of all, you have to connect to me on Twitter. First step, then share the screenshot on Twitter what you are learning in today's session. Try to mention both the handles I have mentioned, and also like we'll be, after going through the random screenshots and all this, we'll be picking it up randomly, and I'll be reaching you out on your Twitter DM. So keep your DMs open for the Egghead IO coupon, so that you can just use this and learn more about how Egghead IO, like, it can help you to like get some good resources for full stack courses, right? So it's again a foolproof resource, so you can use it, learn on the go. So more about it later on. Now let's directly jump onto our main course, that is Next.js. Then we are going to install the locally, like how Next.js is being installed using create next app. But main point over here, meanwhile, when I'm going through these two things, the first and second, I want you to clone this on your system. Let me just share this link with you folks. Okay, so I'll share this link with you.
Folks, do check it out. Do like this session. Share it with all your folks so that this awesome session gets shared with all your friends and they get really meaningful information, give knowledge to all the friends and folks for you.
Thank you, Akshat, for that. Yeah. So I hope this is getting recorded so people will be able to see it later on too, and based on their
Yep,
time
yep.
zones and time availability. But yeah, before that, before we move on to the first and second points, I want you to, like, because it's better time consuming based on the internet connectivity, just clone this up for your for the development environment using the commands git clone over here. I've just cloned it, so git clone, and you can paste that particular link and just clone it, right? So once you clone it, relax. Rest we're going to see it over here. So first of all, what is Next.js? So Next.js is a full stack framework which helps you to build server side and the front side, like complete full stack applications, where you are going to code in server and it will be remaining in your server, not exposed to client, and the client code will be remained in the client side and will be exposed to the client bundles. Next.js also use selective bundling mechanism, which actually picks out the particular components which are going to be exposed in client side, and let and rest all of the things will be in the server side, not exposed to public or not exposed to the client side. So best resource for like going with Next.js is nextjs.org, and I'll just share this thing in the chat. Yeah. So this is the Next.js. Okay, fine. We have I shared you the link here. The now you can see it shows the React framework for production. Don't focus on the word just React. Focus on the word production. Production includes all the full stack work. Okay, production means your front end, back end, and security, DevOps, everything. So here, the Next.js is kind of full stack framework production with focus more on production. You can write in Terraform. You can even Dockerize the whole container and run Next.js over in that particular Node.js image. So a lot of things you can do with Next.js. So that's not the part of today's scope, like what you can do with Next.js. But today we'll be learning how to integrate Next.js. Okay. So now moving on to the documentation. So I guess we know about what is Next.js now. So moving on to documentation, and you can see over here getting started, and these are the few steps. First of all, you have to actually install this by create next app, and once you do this, we are going to use TypeScript version, not the JavaScript, just because it has types. That's why, and we are going to use it for our whole session, and we'll be also doing the code walkthrough, so you need not worry about it at all. So create next app, just run this command over here. Let me just show the VS Code. Just run this command. Okay, let me just show you. Like this, you have to just type it npx create next app and give it a flag of TypeScript. Okay, so flag is just hyphen hyphen, and you are giving it a flag that just letting the command line know that it's we need TypeScript version. So it will generate you the whole config and stuff. So this is how you just locally install the Next.js. But we don't need to do it right now because you just cloned it, the whole repo, right? So it comes. I've configured a lot of things over here, so we are going to see that. So this is also being used via made via TypeScript only. So you can just go over there, and this is just for your information, to be honest, that how to install Next.js. But as you have cloned it, so you need not worry about how to install locally, as it comes with you, and you just need to run the installation steps now. I guess most of the things are clear for now. Yep, cool. So if you have, meanwhile, if you're stuck in any questions or anything that comes in your mind, you can just talk about it or just ask here directly. You need not worry about it. Okay. So cool. Let's come back to our main notion now. So we have cloned. I guess you all have cloned the starter template, and even you can see we have cooked it for the BUGTRONS talk, especially for this talk, so that you all can get like all the installation steps have been mentioned. Just follow this up, like clone the repo, run this npmi on npm install, and there are a lot of things. Just need to follow this installation steps and you're done with that. You're going to install the repo, and what's inside this repo, we have like I have actually configured it something like Next.js plus tailwind custom setup for the upcoming to that is the today's talk that we have, and it has all the portfolio. The layout has been designed for you. It has Storyblock wrapper which you can even use in your projects, completely open source. And I've created it with a lot of portfolio based work, like what you can think what portfolio needs. It needs blogs, it needs what do you say, it needs blog, it needs projects and all those things, right? So all those are covered over here in the Storyblock wrapper. Also it is used for like customizing the whole formatting of data has been taken care by Storyblock wrapper. Plus there's an env setup which has been needed, so I'll show you how to do that env setup before moving forward to like just letting you know how to do it. Okay, and if you feel to contribute or found any bug over here, just create a new issue But if you want to introduce a new feature to the portfolio, I'm not sure that whether it will be getting merged, because this particular whole repo is kind of, you can think it of as a my talks repo, where I can, why I'm using it on a kind of in a chronological way, adding features based on the event demand or the event nature. Okay, so make sure that if you are having any bug, you raise the create a new issue. Okay, so this is about the repo. I hope you all have cloned it and just strike it off now, as we have cloned it. And now let's set up the starter template. So once you clone it, and you are going to just write it like this: npm install. Okay. So once you npm install, like, it install all the dependencies included in this package JSON, whatever you see over here, and whatever you see over here, all the types and dev dependencies. Dev dependencies are the required for developer, those who are building the whole application. So, and dependencies are required for the whole, what you say, to make the application work, right? So this is about dependencies and dev dependencies. Once you install, and afterwards you need to run the whole Next.js application. npm install will take around 2 to 3 minutes, based on your systems or the Node.js, or how much system is capable of doing like the processes and all. So it will take some time, and afterwards you can run this command npm run dev. Okay, so let me see. Okay, no doubt so far. Cool. So it shows, like, once you are ready with the things, like once it starts, it shows what is the URL and logs out all the things. So we are going to see here. You can see this is a URL localhost 3000. So we are going to go over there, and it loads, and you can see BUGTRONS title over here. There is some sample name. There's some position junior developer, and you can also see connect at the rate johndoe.com. Plus you have some experience here. It shows some work and impact. Click on the job card. So once you click over here, it shows impact at job A, job B, job C. Similarly, you have few projects lined up over here, and then you have stay connected. Okay, so you can see this is very decent. Not so like we don't have much to animations or anything like that on front end, but this portfolio, we are going to make it something like fresh, like you can say more rich in backend technology, like how the roles and all. Suppose what is the problem right now? If you want to add a new role, you may have to go to the code, add a new role, code the things for it, right? But what if you just go to a particular UI and just add your role, company, and the particular dates, and that's it. You don't need to code a lot of things, just need to add it, and it will automatically, you don't even commit that to, it will just fetch from directly from the APIs. And here you can directly show it. So that's what Storyblock does. You don't need to commit it, especially because we are going to use the Storyblock APIs over here. So it fetches, and it's a dynamic content. Okay, and you can see this job A, job B, job. This part is like designed just for impacts only. Next, we have projects also in the similar fashion. You don't need to code every project, like whatever you want to share on your portfolio and put it up directly over here. You can just directly use the Storyblock APIs, and we are going to see how we connect these projects and this particular portfolio, all this stuff. Okay, and finally, stay connected. Here you can hard code your stuff, like the Twitter link or whatever the email you have. Or in fact, if you want to make it a more generalized or more abstracted version of the portfolio that anyone can use, you can even put it in Storyblock data, so that you people just enter their name and everything gets generated. So this is very like the front end is kind of decent. We have a decent front end, and now we are going to work on the backend technology side over here. Okay, so let me know if you have doubts so far.
Yep. Abhir, I have a doubt regarding, and maybe it's a question from the some of the fellow folks as well. That we are using the backend technologies like Storyblock, and we are making the
Hmm.
API calls. Should we be using a perfect Node.js Express server for it, or because
As I said, we are going to use Next.js, and it has like inbuilt all the stuff, right? The Express or the Node API calls, everything is inbuilt over there. So you need not worry about it. Just now you saw that we created a kind of Next.js server here directly, right? We just created it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that doesn't need, you need not create an additional express server. All of it comes via Next.js only. You need not worry about all these things. This is just to add a developer productivity, and plus it has, you can enable security features, custom what you say, the course headers, and lot of things down the line. So need
Yeah.
not worry about it at all. If you are going with Express, again you have to do a lot of low level interface code. Low level interface code is means you are going to write to deal with a lot of server side technology, like server side code, and kind of the server side interfaces. And maybe you may messed up with the things while coding or learning the things out, maybe from security configurations and all. But yeah, if you are going with Next.js, all these are covered and out of the box. You can focus on your main business logic or the main portfolio that we are building now. I hope that answers your question.
Yep, yep, that's brilliant. It will be a very cool stuff coming right here next.
Yep. So now we have set up the starter template, and I'll be showcasing you what is the next steps, like what are the different components that I have created, and we can just see those, and we can actually build over that, connect the story block afterwards. So here, if you go to pages and index, under pages and index, pages next just has something like page level routing, that if you create a new page over here with some name, it is automatically converted into a route. Suppose if I create a page known as about, suppose let's just create a page about over here, about.tsx, and we are going to just make it kind of not so, and it is just about page. Okay, so we have this simple page, and if you want to just see this page, how put it in slash route over here about. Okay, so it shows about directly. So it shows the page level routing. Right now, index is the root, as you know, index is everywhere. If you see anywhere index, it's just the root file. You need not worry about it. So just deleting the about for now, and we are going to focus on pages index. So this is the root page. You can see BUGTRONS over here, and also here you can see about section, which just talks about this whole thing, the John Doe, the hero area. Okay, and we have experience section. Experience section is this complete whole UI, whatever you see. Then similarly, we have project section, and we have stay connected section. Okay, so now in about section and stay connected, nothing is like, it's just a dynamic, it's not, it's just a static hard coded data, so you need not worry about it at all. But if you see the experience section, here something comes down the line. We are accepting few parameters known as experience, which is having these values: role, company, from, to, and impacts, and just laying out the particular experience and particular impact based on the value of whatever the experience you select over here. Okay, they click on the job card, so just shows us job A, job B, job C. Okay, now next up, similarly with project section, we have these things: name, description, and link. And just it's mapping it out and showcasing the things, like these are the projects. We have few tailwind classes, and that's it. So pretty much like it's very basic here, because just taking the data and just showcasing it. Nothing, no backend logic working over here right now. Okay, so how are we getting all this stuff? Data, role, company. How are we getting it? So we are getting it from server side. Server side, you can see over here, server side get, server side props. This function, this particular whole function, it won't be exposed in your client side bundles, and it will be kept secret from the client. Okay, once you write this function, and whatever inside this function will not be these data structures, what you see, experience, the array, and all these things, they are not going to exposed. Okay, whatever you send as a return statement under props, that is going to be exposed. Otherwise, nothing going to be exposed. Okay, it will be, you can write your database calls directly over here, and even handle secret configuration data or anything like that. Okay, so not worry about it at all. Okay, this is something completely on the server side happening. Okay, so we have this experience, and we have a role, company, from, to, impacts. Again, similar thing in array, similar thing in project cards too. Okay, and we are just returning it experiences and projects as props, and we are over here experience and projects, the basic React thing only we are doing so far. But now what we are going to do is let's check it on the checklist. So we have code walk through the various components. Now we are going to see what is story block. So first of all, focus on the two words stories and block. Okay. So we are going to first go to the storyblock.com, and if you don't have any account, just sign up. And once you sign up, log into the account. So once you logged in, it looks like something like this. Here you can see all your spaces are just like workspace or the folder. And suppose now we are having a portfolio, so we'll create a new space known as portfolio. Inside that, everything which is related to portfolio will be inside that particular space. So this is just the stuff, okay, about workspace in the story block or the spaces in story block. So just create a new space for now. Okay. And we just want to have make it the name is portfolio. Okay. So just create a space, and you can see all this boilerplate. Remove it completely. We are going to make it from starting only. So I'm just removing all the stuff components. So I guess everything is removed now. We are going to skip this. So this is like completely clean. You need not worry about anything. And what is the next thing you need to know? Okay, you need to know about what are stories and what are blocks, and that's how the name goes, story and block, right? So if you see story and block, so what is story first of all? So let me go to BUGTRONS page over here. The whole here you can see this complete whole page. Think it of as a story. Okay, the whole page. Okay, the whole BUGTRONS index.ts or whatever the root index localhost 3000. Think it of as a page. Okay, this is just a page, and this page is known as story. Okay, this whole page is just story, and inside that, whatever components you see, like John Doe, junior developer, then these experience cards. Okay, and these work and impact, all these are blocks. Okay, these project cards, inside that project card you have different small things, so it is something like a big room. The house is your story, and the rooms inside that are the blocks. Okay, and if you see there are things inside room, right, those are also blocks. So you have story block, and inside that you have more blocks and blocks. That's how story block came in the picture, right? So you have this whole page as story. This is a block, this one is a block, this one block. Okay, then this project card, these are blocks. Inside that we have few blocks, few more blocks. Okay, so like this the whole stuff is designed. I hope now it's pretty much clear about how Storyblock, the whole name goes by.
Fine, fine, fine. We have a question
Yeah.
from Gulam, I think.
Yeah. So
Would you like to
let's
answer
answer
that?
this question. So usually, most of the CMS out there, you can find it. They are either completely focused on business use cases and hard for developers, or they are completely focused on developers but not for non-technical users. So here, the story block is the catch. You can see story block is something like both focus for both developers as well as the business users. So anyone who is like writing code or want to build some portfolio quickly or something like that, they can directly integrate story block and do it. And if someone is managing some tasks on your non-technical people or non-technical folks who are actually trying to figure out how to do it or add some content over the night, how do they do it? So that's again story block. There this is kind of story block resolves the space or helps both of the people in right amount, like in the equal amount, I would say. It's both for developers as well as for the non-technical users, and that's why story blocks stand out from them. So it's not more about the standard, it's more about the what are the use cases they are solving. Okay, so yeah.
Fine, fine, fine. Yeah, it's cool. I think Gulam, the doubt has been resolved and it will be good for the Gulam
Yeah.
as well. Yeah, I do have one question for you. That
Yeah,
I
sure.
usually, yeah, I usually do data. I usually use the databases like MongoDB, SQL,
Hmm.
PostgreSQL for storing my data. How does it different from the CMS in the story block? Because at the end, in the
So,
story block,
yeah, in CMS, suppose now you have a complete organization or you have some projects where you have a few technical folks and few non-technical folks. Non-technical folks don't know how to code. How are they going to insert data in your MongoDB database, right? Where is the catch? I hope
Yep.
you get this point, right?
Yep. Thanks,
So
Tan. Thank you very much. I
yeah,
got
so
the
this is
exact point.
yeah, yeah. So this is where the story block solves. Non-tech folks just enter into the story block, and your MongoDB, you have built a middleware which fetches the data from story block, periodically runs a cron job or anything like that, or webhooks. Okay, and it tries to fetch and store it in your MongoDB if you need it. Or there are more tasks, like you can implement Redis with story block to serve no like serve the stories that are not changing or not frequently changed with time. So all these are, this is something like more pluggable system the story block has built. Okay, so
Yep.
coming to the
It's
main
good.
point. Yeah, so we have covered what are stories and blocks. Okay, so I'll just refresh you what are stories and blocks. So again, this whole page treated as a story. Okay, even you can divide the stories. Okay, this is something like the hero area. Okay, this is experience, this is projects. Treat of them as a separate stories. You can do it in that fashion too. Okay, and afterwards you can just like think of these cards as blocks. Okay, so these are the few things that you need to know, what are stories and what are blocks, before getting started with the things. Okay, so I hope this is very much clear about the stories and blocks. Okay, cool. Next up, we have covered stories and blocks. Now we are going to see what are the different components and stories, and what are the like the UI walkthrough of story block. So you can see content. Whatever you put inside content will be treated as a story. Okay, and inside components you can create multiple templating for the blocks. Okay, templating for the blocks, templating for the stories out there, how the story page will look like. Right now our whole developer portfolio is having particularly a hero area, the experience, the projects, and the stay connected session. Out of that we are going to have experience and projects to be fetched from story block. So we have consider these two as stories for now, experience and projects. So there is something, a template that is required, right? You have a card. Inside that card, you have particular role, company, and what you say, the duration you worked over there. Okay, these are the templates. Okay, these are the particular set of templates, or the particular set of, okay, say, the instructions that you have to follow to like build a card out of it, right? So think it of something like that. The components, these are the certain set of instructions or the certain set of templates that you have to use in order to make it like pluggable, or what you say, in order to make it usable in your portfolio, right? How do you structure your pages? Okay, or even to lay out your pages. Okay, all these are known as components over here. Okay, now coming back to the main topic, content. We are going to see, just name a few content, like suppose home. But yeah, if you see over here, we don't have any components, right? So we don't have any content type or anything like that. Okay, so before going to further, I think we should work on first on the component. So we are going to see create a new component. Okay, so now in new component, name it as, like, we are going to name it as a page, because it's our, what do you say, what do you say it as, the home page, right? We are going to have it on the landing page. Let me just show you the landing page over here. So this is the whole landing page, and it has various blocks. Okay, so this is kind of a layout or the templating for the landing page, and we are going to click on nestable and act as a, it is acting as a content type. Okay, see here, its example is showing blog post. So content type means this whole layout. Okay, this whole thing, whatever the layout you are going to design. Okay, what in which your content can be fit in. Okay, suppose this experience section right now over here, this whole thing is a story, like consider it as a story. Okay, in the picture consider it as a story, and these are blocks, role company, all this project card. So this whole stuff you can think it of as a content. Okay, inside that you have different kind of blocks right now. Okay, so we are going to have this something like a page, and act as a content type, and make it nestable. Once done, we are done with that. Now define a page. Now every page has few sections. So we have experience, we have projects. Now what we are going to see, we are going to name it as experience. So we are going to experience, and we are going to name it one projects. Okay, you can see the type is not yet correct, so we are going to make it a correct type. As I said, this experience is when you consider whole page as a story, this whole file, or the whatever you see as a story, these experience and these projects acts as a block. Okay, this is a big house. Big house is a story, and inside rooms you have these two rooms, experience and projects. These are the blocks. So similarly over here, you're going to add it as block. Okay, and for what, for experience, for experience it's a block. Okay, and inside that block you have few more blocks. Okay, and those blocks are cards. Okay, this is a block, this experience is a block, and inside that you have few more blocks. It's a room inside a room. This experience is a room, and again you have few rooms. Any questions so far? No, we don't have. Fine. So coming back to our portfolio over here, so we have blocks, we have mentioned it, the type, and we are also, we don't need all this, and we are just going to make it safe. Apart from that, we have to also do it for projects. Inside projects we'll be having blocks, so save it. Now this is the content type that we have, and everything is saved. You can now move over to content. Content, again I said it's a page, so let's make it as a page. I'll talk about slug. Slug is whatever you see directly over here. Let me show. Slash, if I say page, page will be our slug. Okay, it's just helps to redirect whatever the stuff is. Okay, so page, we're going to set it up. Okay, but now we don't have parent, we have page. Okay, so we are going to use page as a content type, and we're going to click on save. So we are over here once, and we can see experience and projects. We can add different blocks. Before that, let's configure the things, the real path. Okay, as I said you, the configuration, the slug. Okay, the slug is fine, slug is fine, you have page over here, but we want it to be on slash. Okay, that is the root of the whole domain or the route that we have. Okay, and hit on the save button. So once done, everything is looks good, and till now you don't see anything over here because we have not configured our story block space with the right links. Go over to settings now. Okay, so under settings you are going to find a lot of things: general, API keys, users, workflow. So for now, for today's session, we are going to focus on general and API keys. And here you can see location, default environment, make it to localhost 3000, because if you can see directly over here, it's localhost 3000. Just copy this up, paste it. Okay, and also if you have set up a preview URL, you can just use that too, but I'm directly putting it over here too, just as like making sure it's a preview URL. Okay, and we're going to hit on save button. So once we hit on save button, click, go to dashboard, go to content, go to page. You can see our whole stuff is loaded over here now. Okay, but still the whole stuff is not yet connected, it doesn't feel so connected. We don't have experience, but it's showing experience. That's a bit weird, right? So we are going to do it, how to connect both of them. So no need to worry about it. It's not so it's mobile responsive. So yeah, you can like raise a bug and make it a mobile responsive in the GitHub issue using Tailwind, so that can be considered. Okay, now the main point here is we need to connect these two, right? How to connect these two stuff. But before that, we need to know what is experience, right? Experience over here is a particular block. So I said you this is a block. Inside that you have few more blocks. It's a room. Inside that we have few more rooms. This is a room number for company 1, company 2, company 3, right? So these are the various rooms. We have to create a kind of a template for this rooms. Okay, and how to create that? Go to components, and we are going to add over here. Okay, sorry, new, and we are going to add the name, and it's a nest table. Okay, nest table means it can be nested inside one more blocks. Okay, because we are having already as a block, and the whole page is a block. Okay, and inside that we are nesting this. Nesting is just putting it under a particular block. Okay, so now I'm just going to put it over here, and name is that experience card. Okay, or experience, just make it as an experience. But again, we may have clashes with the name, so I'll make it experience card. Sounds better. Next, and we are going to enter the key values. So we need for experience, what do we need? Let's see the code, and let's see experience. We need role, company, from, to, and impacts. Okay, so we are going to create role. We're going to create company. We're going to create what else? From, to, and impact. Okay, from, We're going to create two. You're going to create impact will be single string, but you can make it as a markdown and use React Markdown to render it on your front end. But just to keep things simple, I'm making it as an impact. I'll show you how Markdown is being rendered on my portfolio, so you can take a look over there too, if you need some ideas on rendering Markdown and Storyblock. Okay, so here role, company, from, to, and impacts, we have this, and we just saved it now. So we have experience card, but now we also need a project card, right? Similar to experience. So we build it, project card, click on next. And now we are going to add the values. So we need name, project name. Similarly, over here, go to project, see name, description, and link. Name, description, and link. Okay. Let me see. So far, you have any doubts? Oh, no doubts. That's cool. Okay. Name, description, and link, and we saved it. So once we save it, and we can see experience and project over here, we go to content, and now then we go to page, and we try to add few experience card or something like that. Okay, so experience card. Okay, so we are going to add experience card. So we added experience card. Now we should enter some details. Suppose I wrote it as something like you did some SW internship at some company. Okay, I'm writing for example for my company. Okay, and from which time to time, August and Jan, and what the impact it created. You can write it as developed SSI applications. Okay, something like that. Okay, I just named it and just save it out. Similarly, you can even have experience card again, one more, and you can create some roles like Atom. So work for Atom. There is uh, something like you can just again, you can, it's up to you how you make it. Okay, and you can actually just name it, fill in the right details out there, something like that. If you are creating an electron app or building something. Okay, so or you can add few more if you want something, maybe I would say some lorem some. Okay, I'll just write it for now so that we can have three different kind of things. And okay, and suppose let's say it's March 2021, and oh, we have few, right? So we just make it as some fellowship, right? So, and what are the impacts? It's just build blockchain products. Okay, and just save it. We have experience card again, but where are those experiences? We have not connected it directly over here, not yet connected. So that's why it's not showing you, right? So again, this is save it. So we have the experience out there with all the dates, but it's not showing, right? Where is it? So we haven't connected it, right? That's why it's not showing. Similarly, we have the few projects. Okay, so we are going to name few projects out there. Okay, you don't have any doubts so far. Cool. So let me go to portfolio again. Oh, okay, fine. So we have to create few projects. So let me just create few projects for you. So suppose CLI man. I created a CLI which was used for managing your interfaces. Manage interfaces. Okay, TypeScript interfaces. Something like that, and you, it's a closed source, so I'm just like making it redirect to my just GitHub. Okay, and just save it. Okay, similarly you can add more projects of yours here. We'll add few more. Okay, I'll just duplicate it so that, so you're just going to duplicate all this. So you have few more, we don't need to worry about rest of the things. Okay, so I duplicated all this thing and save it. So once here we have few experience cards, we have few project cards, but now nothing is there right now. But we have created the, this is the whole page. Treat this page as a story. This whole page is story, and these are the blocks. Okay, as I said, your experience, role, and impact over here, and these are the blocks. Okay, And if you can even treat this as a block, but I have hard coded it, so maybe you can try to raise a fix or bug fix in the repo that consider this as a block and write the code for it. Okay, fine. So now we have experience and as well as projects directly over here. But now how to connect it? Our main logic, the backend part comes here. So now let me go to the checklist for you all. So we have created the custom components, and now it's time to see the code of how Storyblock wrapper works. Okay, so let me go to Storyblock wrapper, src lib and Storyblock ts. So forget about this. This is just declaration merging so that Storyblock bridge works. So just a hot fix for that. But here you can see we are importing few functions: Storyblock client, story data, which is again a type. Okay, and we are just initiating a Storyblock client with the particular Storyblock access token. We'll talk about it. Okay, how to get the access token, and we are setting up the cache as it will be memory based cache and it will clear automatically. Okay, so these are the basic things. You can also find it like directly in the lib file, so that this helps you to like initiate the story block. Okay, and it's been created for you, so you need not worry about it. Okay, so this is the caching has been done over here, and like story block has been set up the initial. Okay, but now I've configured few things like get links. Okay, get links will help you to actually get link of particular page. Okay, this is being focused on building blog pages, because when are you in blog pages you want to show different links to your particular blogs, right? You have written, so this is just for using that. So you can but we are not going to use it for now. We are more focused on get story. Get story needs over here uid content slug. Okay, and I don't need to focus on these two for now. Focus on slug. Okay, and now what it does, it sets up some story block parameters. What is the version? So let me talk about the story block version. Okay, so story block version, let's go to story block. You can see our save and publish over here, and just click on this right over here, the right downward arrow. You can see draft and published, right? Draft json is being like what you say, draft json is being used, or like it's being refreshed whenever you are going to hit a save, hit on save button. Like whenever you hit a save, it goes to draft json. Okay, and when you hit publish, it goes to production. That is published json. So whenever you are in a local environment or your developer environment, always use draft. Okay, draft is your story block version, and whenever you are in deploying your whole application, whole portfolio in published, in the publishers, or like in any in the production, okay, just use published version. So that is just about setting up the story block version. Okay, and if you go to nv.local, you can see there are a few tokens already, and this is just a unused token, and or you say the token I have already revoked. So I'll just make it an empty right now and go to env.sample. So once you're in .env.sample, you can see something like Storyblock version as draft or published, or Storyblock access token as paste or access token here. Okay. So once you go to Storyblock version, and as you know, this is our draft. Okay, we are in what is it, the development environment. So we're putting it as in draft, and now we need an access token to access all the Storyblock configuration and stuff. Okay. So go to back it over and go to settings. Directly go to API keys. You can find your API key over here, the preview API key. Okay. And whenever you want to post it, or like have something, what you say, production, you want to put it in production, create a token for it, and this will be public view. Okay. So we are going to use this token for now, and let's see how it works. So we have pasted this token. And always, whenever you are changing your environment variables, make sure that you rerun the Next.js server. Okay. And I went and directly rerun the server. Let me just clear the whole stuff for now and wrote npm run dev. Okay. This reruns the whole Next.js server. And it shows a message loaded env from this file. Okay. So we have this particular token and we have this draft. Now we have everything, but still the story block is not getting connected, right? So how do we do that? So for that, you have to go back to over here story block and go to content. Okay, now go to page. See, this is still we are in draft. Okay, go to config and you can see the slug over here, right? You can see slug, and just use this slug for now. Click on page, click on copy, like copy it. Okay, I'm just going to slug, copy it as a page. Go to pages, go to index, and now it's time to go over here get server side props. All of these process that you are using story block and you don't want to expose your keys or the get story, all this what you say, the lib story block, this whole particular file or whatever it is. Okay, you don't want to use all this thing. Okay, then how do you actually get the data, right? This is possible via nextjs server side rendering. Okay, you get the whole data from server side, and once you get that, you are going to just simply put the logic over here in server side, and it will be kept inside server side. Get your story block configuration, get your story block data, log it out on your console, and just return those data directly into experience and projects. Okay, so if the flow is very simple over here. You are going to fetch data from story block. Let me see if you have doubts anymore. Few. Okay. Yeah, Storyblock does provide markdown features for development as well as for previewing. Okay, I'm not sure about the previewing part, but it does. You can like have your whole markdown features, even more GitHub flavored markdown, and even you can create React markdown and add your own custom plugin, custom flavor. Okay, though it is acting as a plugin, but you can create it as your what you say, a package, or what you say, the React markdown, the npm package, and directly use it for your custom if you need it as a custom, or you can use it as a plugin in Storyblock. Okay, that can be done. So here now let's come back to get server side props and see. We need get story, right? So we are going to see get story. Yeah, we have the get story, just import it. And this is particularly an asynchronous function. That means it takes some time to get you the story and all, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to see just like const story. We are going to get the whole story. Okay? And now what it needs is, we don't have the UID at all right now for now. So we are going to put it as undefined. Next, we don't have the content. Okay, we do have content, I guess. So let's see, we do have some content. Okay, so we have page, right? We are going to use it. Okay, so content. Okay, fine. We have the page. See over here, page. This is your content. Okay, and just make it as page, and let's see what happens next. So this is a page will be a string again. Okay, and again the slug. Slug is a again a page. Okay, so you have this now. Let's go to story block keys and see what it does. Here, if you see, it takes on the params, set up the story block version that is draft, and if UID present, then it searches by UID. Okay, and it calls the particular endpoint as CDN stories UID and pass on this story block params. Okay, this is done. Now, if you have slug and content both present, okay, so it tries to get the content and then slash slug. Okay, this is the full slug. It's just like giving you a CDN slash stories or something like route. Okay, to find where is your story located. So right now we CDN stories, and then this is a page. Okay, and the slug is also a page. Okay, so slug is page and the content is also page. Over here you can see content, so this is page. And if you want to know more about it, go to draft JSON. Okay, once you are in the draft JSON, okay, you can see directly over here the slug is page. Okay, you have content directly over here as a UID has been mentioned over here. You can see that too. So you can actually just use this also. So there is no need to worry about rest of the things. Even you can go for UID. Let's go with UID if possible. And also you can see the name also page and the slug is also page. So you have both the things. We'll prefer to go with UID because that sounds more legit and more foolproof mechanism. Because see, if someone changes the content name, suppose in future you change the content name from page to something home, okay, the whole logic will be broken, but the UID will be saved forever. Okay, So just go by UID. So let's go with this UID, and let me just pass on this data. So here, if you see UID content string, these are optional. So you'll pass on to the UID now, index, and over here, let's just pass on the UID. Are you going to put rest of the things undefined? So all these are undefined, and here, if you see UID is defined, then it will return the response data. Okay, whatever the response that you get, this whole thing will be returned as data. Okay, now let's see what happens next. So let's console it out on our console. This is the terminal. Okay, console.log and we story. Okay, but we have to also add await over here, as this is an asynchronous process. What happens in asynchronous processes, it takes time to load the data, and you don't want your application to stuck or give some user a hampering experience, right? So async await helps you to manage all this very smoothly. It waits for the content, loads the stuff, and then sends you. Okay, so you just save it, and we are going to reload the things now. Let's reload. Okay, okay, we are going to reload this first. Okay, so oh nice, you can see some data over here being coming from Storyblock. So story, we have this page, we have ID, content, projects, and experience. See, you have all this data. The whole story is read giving you this data. Okay, the story. So now what to do? So we need to get experience, right? Here is the experience. It's under projects and experience. Okay, fine. So we need experiences. So what we'll do, we'll try to just comment this whole stuff, and we are going to comment this whole stuff again. Okay, this has been commented. Yeah, this all of them is commented. Cool. Now we need experiences. So let's see what is const experiences equals to story. So see, we are in story. Now we need content. Okay, so we need content. Okay, and now we do need experience, right? So put it as experience over here. As what do we need? Experience card, because everything should be mentioned properly, right? So let's not directly do it as an experience card. Maybe there is some additional metadata too. So let's console the experience now. Okay, so the experiences, and let me just also just to make sure the application don't crash, I'm just making it kind of okay. So we'll make it as dev experiences and dev experiences, so it doesn't clash with the names for now. I'm just going to see whatever the data comes, okay, from here. Similarly, let's just do it, and let's see. You have any doubts so far? Okay, no doubts. Cool. Yeah. So what we're going to see is go to BUGTRONS again and reload your whole. So you can see console.content.experience cannot read property experience of undefined. Okay. So now what we have to see from how it is getting undefined. So here we have story, we have dot content, and also let's see what are the next things. Story, we have content, and we have experience, right? So let's, yeah, okay, let me see it on the server. Yeah, let's wait for it for a while. Okay, so we have story, and we need a story again, because see, let me just name it as response. Okay, so that it is much readable and understood. This is whole thing is a response. Okay, this whole thing, and inside that we have a story, right? So make it as response dot story. Okay, then dot content, then you are going to make name it as experience. Okay, so quite a bit glitchy experience you may get over here, but this is just because the wrapper I have built. And you need to know the crux part is The wrapper sends you every data that has been sent by Storyblock. It doesn't infer, or it doesn't actually customize or format your data. Okay, so you have to do it formatting on the get server side props itself. So you're in the response, you are putting the response out. This whole thing is a response, and then you're awaiting response story content experience. And I don't think we need an await over here, but yeah, let's okay. So the story is loaded, and you can see, come back down, come back down. So after coming back down, you can see over here we have two, we have from, we have role. Let me just put it down over here. We have company, we have impacts, and we have component and all these things. So we need just two, from, role, company, and impacts. Okay, so let's do that. Dev experience. So now we are going to prepare the whole, what you say, the mapping, the experience array. Okay, const experiences equal to, I'm just going to make sure that it is commented, and making it as dev experiences, because everything is an array, so you can use a map over here. Okay. And once you use map, you have particular data. So let it name as an e, as in particular notation, standard notation. And now we are going to see, oh, how to prepare the stuff. Okay, return, we are going to return, what are we going to return? We need two, right? So we need to have something like, also making sure that it returns experience card. Okay, we need experience card, and it will be an array. This is a TypeScript notation. And we need name of the company. Okay, so we just e dot, or we have name, I guess so. Okay, we have role. Okay, sorry, we have role. We do need role, e dot role. And we also need, what else we have in experience? We have role, company, from, to, impacts. Role, company, e dot company, e dot from. See, you can see the data over here, from, role, company, and all this. And to, e dot to. Okay, you have from, we have to, you have role and company. And what are the impacts, right? You need this, e dot impacts. So we have all this, and now let's see, let's save it, and let's see how do we run through another or anything like that. And you see, SW intern, AtomEI, engineering fellow, all of this came through Storyblock. So I guess that lays out the foundation how Storyblock is designed and it is working. And if you go to Storyblock 2, and if you add a new one more card, just reload it for now so you can get the fresh data. So here you can see Atom AI, engineering fellow, and all this you got. And now if I add one more, suppose experience card, and I just add lorem ipsum August 2021, and September 2021 impacts, lorem, a dummy, okay, something like that, and just saved it. And now if you reload again, lorem ipsum, and if you click on this, it shows dummy, build blockchain products, worked on electron app, the developers. So like this it shows. Okay, so this is how you just integrate it. So whenever you are going to add a new experience, you probably need not code all this thing, the borders and all. Just need to add a card with particular details over here. Select a card like experience card, and just add the details directly. And even if you're suppose if you have a team and you are using Storyblock, and the team doesn't know much about the technical knowledge, okay, they don't know how to code, so they just need to just send this particular link, invite them to the Storyblock, and they can add the particular field data. And that makes sure that your production, or the word, the application is not much like it's not having much bugs also, and much restriction from entering random data. And every sanitization has been happened. Sanitization is always there in Storyblock, but I recommend you to also perform the sanitization of inputs, just to make sure that we don't mess up, just adding an extra layer of security. Okay, So just to make sure that we don't mess up with the things, make sure that you sanitize all the inputs that are coming from Storyblock. Though it is sanitized, but still adding extra layer is not a harm. Okay. So this is about all the pages. Now about projects. Okay. Now we are going to see projects. Similarly, here we have few projects already mentioned, and now we're just going to do the same thing. Let me go to StreamYard and see. Okay, no folks. Okay, fine. Cool. Let's see. Again, you have projects. Now we are going to see experiences directly, and need not like, okay, fine. We are going to just const dev projects. Let me just make it as response.story.content.projects. Okay. So we have projects down the line. Here you can go up and see projects. Okay. And I guess that's it. Here also we have done this so far, and now we have dev projects. Just going to copy this whole thing, experiences only. The logic remains the same over here. Just the configuration changes. Okay. So we have project card as a config, project card, and we have to send it as an array. And the things that change are the name and the configuration. Okay. Name is e dot. Okay, let me just make this as dev projects. Okay. Name, we need e dot as name, and we need a description, e dot description. We do need a link, e dot link. And let me see if we have the same things on Storyblock too. We have project card, we have name, description, and link. Okay, so everything is same. We need not worry about it. Okay. And we have okay, fine. We have this whole thing. We can delete it for now. And now you can see format document, save it, and reload it. Okay, just reload it. Okay, so once you reload, so you can see CLI man, CLI man, CLI man, CLI man, manage TypeScript interfaces. We just copied all this thing. Okay, directly over here. So here,
Hey, Pavia, are you audible right now? Hello?
hello. Yeah, sorry, there was some internet issue, I guess. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, you are now audible.
I how last word that you heard was? Can I just?
We are just now going to connect
Okay, fine, got
with
it, got it.
the.
Yeah, yeah, I got it. So I was talking about like we have shared like we have just edited all these project cards. Now let's edit few names. Suppose I want to name it as CLI Batman. Okay, and I was just editing random names. Okay, and we are going to name it as CLI Superman. Okay, sounds a bit weird, but yeah. And now just save it and reload it. So now you can see over here CLI Batman, CLI Superman, and don't focus on the CSS over here. Just go directly and you can see. If you click on link, it goes takes you to the web page or whatever the link that you enter in the story block. So what it does now, you don't have to create the code or for the next component that you do. Okay, you don't need to commit it. First thing, you don't need to commit it. What are the benefits over here? See, if you are saying if you want to that instead of using Storyblock, I can put all this in a JSON file and just use that. Okay, but obviously you have to commit it, and you cannot change it regularly. Okay, the flexibility of changes can be is like very less. Okay, the flexibility here, you can actually check out the flexibility. You can, if you miss some typo, you just need to say, just suppose I did this Batman F and saved it. Suppose this is a typo, right? I don't want to uh, like have a Batman F over here. Just I want Batman. Okay. So now I don't need to go to JSON, change it, commit it, run the build again. All this process, you need just be relaxed. Just need to uh, hit a back button, click on save, everything done. You don't need to rebuild the whole site. It's just about you calling the APIs from the server side and serving. Here we are not rebuilding the site. Okay, the first point, the major benefit is you are completely focused on APIs, and APIs are everywhere. Okay, and need not build the things from the scratch. Okay, like I mean build the things from the scratch means you need not code every part. Okay, and anyone can, like if you want to have someone whom you trust want to add your projects, if you don't have time, okay, so you can just tell them and share invite them in this particular workspace and they can start doing it. Okay, that is one more thing. Collaboration is possible. Then we have you don't need to rebuild your site. Okay, the rebuild your site means if you're doing some changes, you are committing it, the vercel or wherever you deploy it rebuilds your production bit. Okay, that will again cause some downtime in your production before it gets shipped. So all these things you don't need to be worry about, because that's not going to happen using Storyblock. It's just you are going to edit the things and it will automatically update. You need not rebuild the whole site. Saves you build times. If you are using Netlify, you may have seen your build minutes over there, right? Every time you do some changes. But if you are using Storyblock, you can save those build minutes. As Netlify won't rebuild your whole site if you change the data. Okay, so that's all about building your experience projects and connecting your story block and stuff. Okay, and next step that you can try out is what do I say? Let me just make sure, just delete this part because it's not required. Save it. Let's see if we can deploy it, or we have done the code walkthrough, we have connected, and yes, we are done with the things. But there are more parts over here that you can try out. Okay, we'll try to deploy this afterwards if we have some more time. I guess we are running out of time of 10 minutes. So let me just go to Vercel and try to deploy it for you. Hope there is no error in deployment, and if it gets error then we can debug it out. Okay, so let's try to deploy it before moving further. It's a new project and BUGTRONS talk. So here's BUGTRONS talk. We need to set up environment variables. Go over to this thing. What do you say? Storyblock. Publish this site. Now we are publishing. Now it's production. Okay. So once you publish, it's everything is in production. Okay. We need to remove this. Okay. We don't want lorem ipsum to be in production. Save it. Publish it. Once you save, publish. Do it multiple times. Be sure that everything is nice. Okay. And go to page, back to stuff. Go to settings and go to API keys. Here you can see public token. Copy it. Okay, here you can see production to return over here. Just need to copy this whole thing. Copy. And once you are here, and make sure the environment variable is putting it over here. And now let's see the value of the environment variable that we used. Let's story block access token. Story block access token add. Now story block version. We need it as a published version. Okay, so just add published over here. Add it. Okay, so we have all this story block published and story block this token, and click on deploy. So as it's Next.js, Vercel has built Next.js, so everything, most of the thing is easy for you. You don't need to write custom codes or anything like that. Everything will be taken care by them. Okay. And before doing it, obviously we forgot to do one thing. We added every stuff. We committed it. We need to commit it, right? So we're just going to commit that part. We have experience, projects, and everything. Git commit m, and we just cooked up, complete the cooking of BUGTRONS. Just a fancy name. Okay. And once it's done, we're going to just save it. Okay. Now, if you go to
Ready with the
dashboard,
website, right?
yeah. So this is right now. I'll show you. This is what you saw in the early day. Okay, the whole company. But now we committed it, and now we are going to push it. Okay. So let's push it. So once it push the things up, it goes to Vercel. Okay, this is how the CI/CD works over here. Okay, you pushing the things, it building the stuff. Okay, so see cloning. You can see the build logs over here directly. Whatever you do, the console log will come directly over here in the build files. Okay, and we hope, I hope that we don't run into any errors over here. Okay, just hoping. So yeah, this is cool. We don't have any errors so far, and it's deploying build outputs. Okay, we have assigned the domains and everything is done. Build completed. Now let's reload. This is the first, what you say, the impression that there is nothing in the site. But now if we just go to reload it, you can see CLI Batman, Superman, CLI Man, everything is over. So I'll just drop this link with you for you. This will be like kind of there for today, and then I'll take it down and make sure you have already what you say forked this space or forked this particular GitHub repo. Okay, because the name will probably going to be changed based on the event title. Okay, so make sure that you forked it so that you can learn how to, you can explore the whole code base and how Storyblock wrapper has been designed and all this stuff. Okay, and moreover you can go to Storyblock docs directly so that you can storyblock.com, and you can actually go to docs under partners resources, and for developers you can see all the stuff directly. Go over there, see how the things are working. Okay, there are a lot of things down the line that you can build it. Okay, you can know the architecture and contribute to it, as it's a few of the parts are open source, so you can contribute there too. Now, coming back to Notion, some more things that we should try out, like you should try out. And the first one is very beginner's one, that creating a block system using Storyblock and Markdown. I'll show you how it looks. This is my website. It's like the portfolio website. And if I go see here, recent post, you can see if I click over here and it renders a Markdown website. Okay. And it's served using Storyblock. Okay. We have the Storyblock directly over here, so you can actually see how it is being rendered and all. Okay, so guest book snippets, you can see that, okay, all of these things. And let me go to this website over here. Okay, again and there is few more, like you can use get links function is being used over here to display all the stuff. This is known as optimized rendering. You are not fetching the complete data. Okay, you are just fetching the links of particular data, and that's it. You are just doing that, and once you click over the auth wrapper, you can see all the auth wrapper directly, how it's built and all. Okay, so this is what we can actually build, right? Your Storyblock stuff. Okay, this is about the beginner stuff that you can try out. It takes some time understand the concepts, and because I know this particular whole what 1 or 1.5 hour session is not enough to explore. You have to deep dive, take on some time from your schedule to know how our things are working. Okay, next is intermediate level. Create a guest book. Okay, guest book is something like somebody is coming to your website and just actually sharing that. Okay, let me see if there's any question so far. No. Okay. Yeah. So guest book is something like somebody is coming to your website and wants to drop some hello messages or some appreciation messages or any comment or anything to improve. Okay. So it's something like this guest book. If we go, so this is okay. Ashish has, okay. Now this is something new. Ashish and Savik. Okay. That's nice. So here if people can log into your GitHub. This has been also implemented using Storyblock again. Okay. So it's Storyblock and GitHub auth. Okay. So there you can actually try to do the Storyblock, GitHub auth, and Redis. This also uses Redis in the development version, not in the production yet. The whole block system is using being used Redis and all. So that's in the development version, not in the production yet. But you can try it out, building Redis and build a kind of nice production grade application. Okay, Redis is I will say Redis for just for the blogs which are not going to be edited frequently. Suppose now let me show you an example. I have few blogs here. I don't want to edit this blog every time, right? And there's no need to fetch it from the story block every time and increase the number of API calls. Okay, so there you can use the Redis implementation and serve it via Redis. Okay, but need this Linux productivity handbook every time because I'm going to update it every time, most frequently. One was Spotlight search on Linux, something like this. If you search for any emoji over here, so you can get it. Okay, something like this. So this is built in for Linux. Okay, so how to do that? Again, I'm going to update it every time. Okay, so these are the few updates that I have made so far. Suppose I want to add more like mail spring productivity and all those, so I'm frequently updating it, but and that doesn't depend on Redis over here. Okay, and I need to fetch it freshly from the story block every time. Okay, because there's no requirement when I'm updating, or there's any no fixed requirement. Okay, So there you can directly fetch it from Storyblock itself instead of using Redis and all. Okay, so these are, you can try it out.
I should add it to you that you created an awesome portfolio website because I'm looking in just of the designs and the way you implemented the responsiveness that's making awesome. And with the implementation of Storyblock and Redis in this, I think there's just blowing my mind to how much we can just add to the
Yeah.
portfolio.
Yeah, it takes some time. It took some time to build it. Instead, I have not like made it launch as an official because some more work has to be done till we'll be putting it on a launch by mid of Feb. So you can see it then on my Twitter and everywhere. There's some things to be added, some layouts and all. Okay. So yeah, thank you for that, for appreciating the portfolio. And great thanks to Apple color scheme. I chose that Apple color scheme to make it look something, give it an Apple flavor. So yeah.
And thanks to you
And
as well that you take a brilliant session today because it's I'm very much beginner to the story blocks and I really didn't know about story blocks at between. But after watching the session, I'm just that's this it's
hmm,
such an amazing stuff that we should use story block as in our website so as to manage your content present in it in much effective manner because in story blogs they are just organizing the content in a just systematic manner which we won't be
hmm,
able to make it in the code in such way. So
hmm.
it's brilliant stuff.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of things can be done. You can build CLI applications over Storyblock and a lot of things, not just one. And just one more notice that we are going to have the giveaway. And if you are mentioning it, so I can see that. And just to make sure that you're following all the steps, and you can also see the steps are also mentioned on the Discord Swag channel over there, and you can just go over there and try to just follow the steps. And probably like I'll pick out by night, by tonight or the day after tomorrow, and we'll be announcing it on Sunday itself. Okay, so today
Yep,
is
yep, yep,
okay,
sure.
Tuesday, right? By Friday or by Thursday or Friday we'll be announcing it. Okay,
Yep, yep, yep,
so yeah.
that's cool. Yeah, we have one question from Gulam. We'd like to take it right now. Yep, this is the question.
Yeah, so actually Storyblock gives the implementation for you down the line automatically. You can use GraphQL too, and you can use the XS too. And but I feel you can directly use the Storyblock JS client package itself because that does the implementation, caching, and lot of other functionalities covered. And most important, it has the types. As you are going to use TypeScript more often, and you don't know what kind of data is coming. Plus, there may be a security configuration because someone can intercept your request in the mid while. Okay, if you're using Exas or something like that. Okay, that may be possible. But if you are using Storyblock, they give you the sanitized data. Okay, from security perspective, you are getting a one layer of security again. Okay, and again GraphQL, you can use that too, but again you have to do a lot of work implementing types for the particular data points and all these things. So instead use Storyblock JS client. That will actually, what you say, that will actually give you the more secured form of data, that foolproof stuff. Okay, and you need not worry about rest of the things. I hope
Yep,
that
yep,
answers.
was yep, yep, yep. This may answer the Gulam's question. So yeah, we are just going to end the session very soon. Thank you everyone for joining the session. Thanks to Abir for taking such an awesome session on the next year's story blogs and such things. Okay, we have one more session. Doesn't let's
I'm
show
talking
him.
about this type system for what you say, the Storyblock data that you get, what we saw on the console. Okay, so components, UID, and all these things.
Fine, 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 fine.
Yeah.
Yep, yep. So yeah, thank you, Abir. It's a very great session with you all that we just hoping that
Okay, we have one more question.
yo,
Cool, that's nice. So,
nice.
how Next.js working unique from other frameworks? So, most probably, if you see Next.js gives you kind of what do you say, a full stack experience. You can suppose now if you want to use some images, suppose just giving you an example, you want to use some images which are from a particular domain. Okay, suppose you hosted a domain stat assets.anshuman.co something like, and all our images are dumped over there. Okay, but Next.js you can configure it such a way that it only fetches the images from that domain only, And if somebody tries to do XSS or tries to like fetch an image from a different domain, it won't work. Okay. So these are the some security concerns from Next.js you can think it of. Okay. Next, also there something like you can build a whole DevOps pipeline, or like integrate Terraform and use type ORM and give a full stack experience. Gives developers a full stack experience of front end plus back end together at once. So it's a good for like, I would say, I'm not comparing with other frameworks. They're like Next.js is again built by Google, Aurora team, and Facebook React team plus few folks from Vercel. So these three are like giving the picture of like some Angular teams are also there, some React teams, and they have all come together to build this and this nice framework that everyone should try out. Yeah.
Yep, yep, thanks a lot. It's great information to me as well that how it works in the back end. So yeah, even if I've read in the docs, it's Next.js is a brilliant server-side rendering, better than the React.js as well. And to all the React.js developers over here, just try out once from the Next as well, because it's a great experience for me for in working in Next as well. So yeah, thanks a lot, Abir, and it's all actually a very nice to be a audience as well. That we learn a lot from your session, not only just regarding the story blocks, but also the implementation of how we set up all the things in the VS Code, and even if they are new folks, they have just learned a lot
Hmm.
of things in the development right now.
Yeah, thank you so much, Akshat, and thank you for the whole BUGTRONS team. Like they pull up this session, and always grateful to you for giving me this opportunity to speak up in BUGTRONS. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Abir. So yeah, we are now in the process to end the session. Yeah, thank you, Abir. Thank you to all the folks watching us. We have a great session today with the Abir, and this is the fourth video of the Bucktron series so far. So we will be. Yeah, I just want to say, just keep connect with us. Do join the server and do register for the Bucktron events. It will be soon. We will be benefiting you in the whole aspect. Thank you, everyone. We are just going to end it.